Bass. This is your boy Juice Wonder with another episode of Smoke and Jokes, where we discuss today's topics while indulging in the greatest of herbal essences. And today's show is brought to you by no other than Lemon Haze. If you're gonna be in the haze, it might as well be lemony. You dig? anyway. Peace. Let me just spark up here. I wanted to have like a discussion with y'all today about the impact of critical race theory, right? But what is the underlying purpose of it, right? Meaning that the white pushback, right, and the black promotion. Like, what is the balance in that, right? But I also wanna, cause it's under the guise of a woke community. Like, it's deemed that critical race theory is connected to um like Black Lives Matters and all of these, progressive black movements in America, right? So I'm addressing the woke community, and I'm also going to be addressing, the feminist movement, as well as how they play a part in the overall grand scheme of things when it comes to critical race theory. Okay, so let me just spark up here before we get into this. How y'all people doing? Don't forget to hit that like, that subscribe, and that bell so you can get constant notifications of whenever, I'm doing anything. You know? No, no mistake. Gonna drop that back down there. Uh, this Though a lot of stuff happening. A lot of stuff happening. I think people should really pay attention to, you know, because America's shift is happening right in front of your face, and it might not be the shift that you bargaining for. If you understand what I mean, like you want to change. I dig you. You want to change, but I'm not sure if, just like in the '60s, if this is necessarily the change that benefits us. I've never seen nowhere in history, right? Um, Now I've seen cultures shift over. I've seen dominance shift within uh, a civilization. But to think if you're gonna shift this dominance in the ways that it's going, it's a group effort then. So then that means that black people is not setting up them. They're placing themselves within something, which is two different things, because everybody else is setting themselves up, which is two different things altogether. Between, like I said, placing yourself in the mix of, and actually, how you say it, um separating yourself. It's like chemistry. You got to separate yourself. You got to know all of the different compounds. So if you are not identifying yourself, right, and we're going to get into that because critical race theory seems to be a, a contradiction of what I'm fighting at now. I don't have a problem with critical race theory. Don't think that. So, we're going to get into it right now. Hold on. Okay, it goes. Now this is I'm gonna go through a couple of different articles, right? Now the different articles is gonna be dealing with different things that play a part, and you're gonna see how close this is. It's like another agenda movement. You could tell when the agenda movements are happening because they pop up right then and there. And see, they got you at a good time right now. America is in chaos, so every push and agenda is perfect. This is how they did us just like in the 60s. You might not understand that, but this is the same way they got us in the 60s. They set up their little nations of Islams and all of these different groups, you know what I'm saying, as distractions. They talked a good one, and anybody that was really for it, you see what happened to them. So here it is now, we moving in again, and now we got the Egyptologists and the Wiccans, and so all of that stuff is moving a system forward, and you don't see it because they talk to you as an individual, meaning that the Egyptologists are talking that, so you don't see the big picture. And that's how Freemasonry works, catching you in pockets. You understand what I'm saying? So this goes, these parents and teachers have had enough of woke classroom and critical race theory, right? Now, those are two different things. The woke and the critical race theory, of course, they can be, bunched in because, American society doesn't want to face its reality. You understand what I'm saying? American society doesn't want to face its reality. So, of course, you know, it would be resistance to one, which would be the critical race theory, meaning the reality is yes, racism is real, it's here every day, everybody sees it and everybody knows it. It's mine as well put it out there so the people who are acting like they don't see it, it's in their face. You know what I'm saying? It's like arguing with a woman and she just telling you everything other than what the fuck you saying. And that's how society has become. That's talk about everything other than what the fuck we need to be talking about. So yeah, we could talk about George Floyd, but we can't talk about critical race theory, which is fucking odd. I'm sorry, that's odd to me. You know what I'm saying? I gotta watch, what I'm saying, but those are odd things to me. You know what I mean? For you to be able to say you for the people, I can't breathe, Black Lives Matters or whatever it is, whatever way that you saying that you played a part in this. Now, what is time for you to cut off from that, right? Because you know that everything is going to be massively taught together the same way you taught us American history and your version of the Bible. Remember when you just only gave us, the Negro Bible, which was only certain parts of it. You understand what I'm saying? When you did that, we can't talk about those things because then that means that the Karen in you will collapse. You know what I'm saying? The Karen in you will collapse because you can't handle somebody telling you, no, it's you. Even to this day, it's still you. See, you want to hide behind, well, that's my grandmother or my grandfather or my great grandfather, and right? Usually just put it on the man. So, that was my great grandfather, and whatever the case may be, right? So then here it goes. You're profiting off of it. You're still living, or you're trying to maintain off that luxury, even though you might not have all of that substance. Now the substance is the wealth of that white, superiority is spread out. So now y'all got to work in unison for that. So let me read this. Oh, pardon me. I'm over here just yipping and yapping and shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I didn't even realize the audio wasn't on. Okay. More parents are waking up to the woke ideology that is seeping into their children's classrooms and curriculums. And increasingly, they are speaking up and opting out. Last week, Andrew Gutman, a father. I'm sorry, somebody just sent me something. I don't know if y'all can see it, because y'all can't see it. It goes, last week, Andrew Gutman, a father of a student at an elite 54,000 a year, barely school in Manhattan, wrote a scathing open letter to the school community. He stated that he wouldn't be re enrolling his daughter this upcoming academic year due to the school's singular focus on anti racism efforts that, according to Gutman, are overtly racist and exclusionary. Now, I object to Burley's various inappropriate and fanatical use of words such as equity, diversity, and inclusive, wrote Gutman in his 17,000 word letter, which was published on Friday at journalist Barry Way's website. I tell you, man, the white fight is funny as shit. Yo, the written word and the white man, yo, man, they mastered it, man. They mastered how to stand there and you gonna hear me, motherfucker. I ain't gonna write it to you because you probably crumble it up. I'm gonna send it to these people over here. They got a website. Everybody go fucking see it. Oh shit! So he invested in 17,000 words. He had some shit on his chest. He said, "I'm gonna get this shit off." If Burley administration was concerned about so-called equality, it would be discussing the cessation of admissions preferences for legacy siblings and those families with especially deep pockets. I feel him. He continues. If the administration was genuinely serious about diversity, it would not insist on the indoctrination of its students and their families to be single minded, most remnants of the Chinese culture revolution. I feel them there too. I feel that this movement is exactly that. I think it's a communist movement. I feel that I know the woke community is controlled by the communist movement. I know that. I know that it's a Freemasonic organization, so they move in secrets and they place little pockets of people within your conversation to shift the people in a direction. So, if one person is saying one thing, they'll jump in, oh, yes, ah, ha, 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 and there you go. Now you learned how to shift the people in a direction. You understand what I mean? So, that's what's being happening. That's what's taking place right now. Right now, we have a community called the woke community, right? Secret society, community, whatever you want to call it, it's saying the same thing, right? And so this community is going out and they have placed themselves in so many areas and so many things that you see and hear so many people starting to say it that you don't realize that that's the spell that you're being put under. So, do I have a problem? Pardon me. Do I have a problem with um, the schools teaching critical race theory? Hell to the no. Hell to the no. Why would I? Right? But I also understand that under the guise of that, there's other things taking place. And I felt it, but then within these articles, there's something that I came across and I said, see, there we go. This is uh, a, a whole different program taking place, right? Now pay attention. We're going to go through this. This is going to take a minute. There's a couple of articles here, so this is going to take a minute, right? Now I'm just breaking you down. First, this is in Manhattan, right? And I just really wanted to address the part when he was saying about, the Chinese Revolution, culture revolution. So look into that. Look into the Chinese Culture Revolution and you would understand exactly what he's referring to. Instead, the school would foster an environment of intellectual openness and freedom of thought. Right? It goes. And if barely really cared about inclusiveness, the school would return to the concept of capitalize in the model of one Burley. Gutman concluded, instead of teaching an extraordinary diverse idea that there are only and always two groups in this country, victims and oppressors. He said there's only two groups of people in this country, victims and oppressors. And if that's the case, us as black people, if we keep crying the victim, right, and they're the oppressors, they don't want to hear that, right? Because then I mean they personally would have to do it instead of you willing to stand up and fight for yourself. So you're trying to beat them off of, the written word. Cool, right? So it goes, okay, the Burley School's headmaster responded to the letter, calling it deeply offensive and harmful. But more parents are coming forward to speak up against these initiatives that are rooted in critical race theory. The push to view social and critical issues through the lens of racial identity, and in particular, power structure related to that identity. So I can't be mad at the school, right? They like, nah, listen, we're gonna teach, critical race theory because, it's showing an identity within this country. I dig it. Okay. Let's try now and go to this next one, right? It goes. Texas parents accused a black principal of teaching critical race theory. Okay. The district has now suspended him. Oh wow, I didn't even see that part. It goes, the district has now suspended him. Okay. It goes, at a heated Texas school board meeting in late July, a man accused a black principal of teaching critical race theory and promoting the conspiracy theory of systematic racism. You see, this is how they flip it on you, right? I'm serious, right? They're playing a ping pong game on us right now because he's saying that It's a conspiracy of systematic racism. That's not even real. According to them, systematic racism is not real. I had to laugh that off because, like, could you imagine somebody telling you that to your face? Think about that. Imagine, you know, somebody standing there telling you that racism is not real to your face. You know what I'm saying? Like, like what? Like, you got your rabbit ass fucking mind. You could have told me that shit to my face. You know what I'm saying? It goes, the man named the principal several times during the remarks, despite the school's board policy barring direct attacks. Just over a month later, the district had suspended Colleyville Heritage High School principal James Whitman without explanation, he told the Washington Post on Tuesday. The decision followed several weeks of controversy during which Mr. Whitfield tried to publicly clear his name. Students turned out to defend their principal while parents demanded his termination. This is this is sounding sinister, people. I'm serious. This is sounding sinister. Hmm. This is sinister. Wow, look at that again. It says, just over a month later, the district has suspended Colleyville Heritage High School principal James Whitfield without explanation, he told the Washington Post on Tuesday. The decision followed several weeks of controversy during which Mr. Whitfield tried to publicly clear his name. Students turned out to defend their principal while parents demanded his termination. So, even the the um the students is telling them, and everybody, all the adults, is having it in their mind that no, he's black. I guess I don't know. Whatever the case may be, he got to go. Right, and this is all because they're blaming it on critical race theory. So start considering what you call those things, those lynch mobs, right? These start, then you see, when we start narrowing it down to us, we can start seeing the lynch mobs versus the global lynch mobs that's taking place. You know what I mean? So I was not given any clear reason before the decision, and right, it goes, hold on, it goes, and was not given a timetable regarding further steps. Dr. Whitfield said in a Facebook message, I was simply told that it was in the best interest of the district. What the fuck does that mean? It was in the best interest of the district. What does that mean? That sounds like, I don't know. Like, was he had a threat on them or something? What the fuck do you mean? Like, best interest of the district? You understand what I'm saying? The school district did not immediately respond to a request for comment from the Post later on Tuesday. Superintendent Robin Ryan sent parents an email announcing Dr. Whitfield's suspension on Monday, but did not provide a reason for the decision. So, and this is, mind you, this is out in Dallas, Fort Worth. Okay? So, now remember, we just came from New York, right? Now we're in Texas, right? So now let's slide over to Virginia, people. Let's slide over to Virginia. Okay, there it goes. A teacher in Virginia resigns in front of the school board Tuesday, saying she refused to continue pushing their highly publicized agendas. Within the last year, I was one of my so called equity training that white Christians, able bodied females currently have the power in our schools, and this has to change. Teachers, teacher Laura Morris said during a public comment period of the board meeting. Okay, it goes Drew Wilder. I guess he's a podcaster or something. It goes, a woman who says she's a Loudoun County teacher just broke into tears addressing the school board, saying she would not honor the transgender pronounce policy because of her faith, and she told the board she was quitting her job right there on the spot. Okay, let's get into this, right? She tells them she's not with it. Like I said, so like when people go, like, so can you have, white allies? Sure. You understand what I'm saying? I don't subscribe to Christianity. You understand what I'm saying? I don't subscribe to that. And I don't knock anybody who do, as long as everybody is moving and understanding the same accord. Like I can't tell, nobody, hey, don't be transgender. Just like they shouldn't be able to tell me, I should be able to do certain things. Certain things is tolerable. You understand what I'm saying? And other things is not even tolerable. It's just that's just human right. So like a person has a right to live. That person has a right to live, right? But you can't tell me in your right to live that I'm supposed to automatically see that when I'm looking. Like say I'm turning my head somewhere and I see a guy in high heels and whatever. That's what I see. A guy in high heels. A guy in high heels, a skirt or whatever you wearing. I don't know. I'm just telling you, if that's what I turn around and see, you can't tell me that I'm not seeing that. Because you can't see yourself doing that. You trying to convince me I'm not seeing that. I don't think I think that's too much of a push on society. You're pushing too much on their brain doing that. I'm sorry, that's crazy. You want me to try to convince my youth that no, that's not a man, that's a woman, because he sees himself as a woman. I respect it. You see yourself as that. I respect it. You bold enough to put on a skirt, some high heels, or whatever the fuck. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I don't even want to say bold, because in today's society, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Those people who took those steps for that were bold. In today's society, clearly it's beyond that. It's beyond being able to be accepted in society now. Because now you are. I just don't get it. So I respect this lady. You understand what I'm saying? I respect her so much because, listen, I can't do it. I quit. You know what I'm saying? With people in today's society, they don't know sacrifice. They're not willing to make a sacrifice for something that you truly believe inside you. Like money don't matter. Like none of that shit matter. I believe in this. I believe in this. And so, for that, I commend her. You know what I'm saying? I commend that lady. I commend her. I be like, yo, you respect it. Because I can't see myself saying it. I'm sorry. Sorry, ma'am. You know what I'm saying? Well, a lot of times with the, I guess with the females, I guess it'd be harder to tell. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and I know that because I got a, a sister who did that. You know what I'm saying? Want to be called a god. Like, can't do it. Sorry, I know you as this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no offense and shit, but that's just how I'm giving it up. You understand what I'm saying? It's not like to be offensive. It's just, I can't lie to my eyes. The fuck, I can't lie to what I know. In that situation, that's my sister. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't lie to myself. I know what the fuck was on that birth certificate. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm saying this where, because it's, even around me, I respect it. I respect that. That's how you want to see yourself. I respect that. I can't. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you, I can't respect you thinking I'm supposed to see that in you. That's weird. That's where the shit goes south. It's like, you be, so somebody hear you, they be thinking, you're like, nah, I respect that. I respect that you could do that. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Still don't make me mean it that I'm going to accept that. Like, I just respect it. Hey. You know what I'm saying? As long as you ain't doing no despicable shit out there, I can't knock you. That's your, your thing. We moving forward. We being progressive. Now you try to force me, the world around me, into that. Can black people start a movement right now saying we're all billionaires? Everybody in the black community can walk into any bank and say, listen, I'm a billionaire. I see myself as a billionaire. Now go inside there and take out 50,000 because I need to go cop something real quick. Can we do that? If we can't do that, then don't fucking try to convince me that because I see a guy in a fucking high heels that all of a sudden this is a fucking female. I'm sorry, partner. That's not how this shit works, okay? That's like seeing a lady with a little belly. Like, oh, I thought you was pregnant and shit. Like, you just assuming shit? How am I supposed to assume what that person wants to identify themselves as? My initial reaction is just some dude walking down the street with fucking high heels. That's all I'm fucking thinking. I'm saying, okay, here goes some fucking guy walking down the fucking street in some fucking high heels. That's all I can tell myself. I can't say nothing else to myself about the situation. So I'm confused on that, and I agree with her. You know what I'm saying? Let me continue reading here real quick. It goes, clearly you made your point. You no longer value me and many other teachers you've employed in this country. So since my contract outlines the power that you have over my employment in Loudoun County Public Schools, I thought it necessary to resign in front of you. That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. On a lot of levels, that's deep. Okay? It's showing that she's willing to put out oppressive information as long as it's benefiting her, right? Because it's a system that's over her that she was with the whole time. But now when that system is saying we're moving in this way, she's not with it. See, she's not with the old. She's not with the new wave. She's on the old wave, so she's beefing about that wave. You understand what I'm saying? So she's not really beefing, you know, for it. She's beefing for her, like her mindset at where the school system was when she was willing to roll with the brainwash on the people. Because she just said what she said right here. She says, so since my contract outlines the power that you have over my employment in Loudoun County Public Schools, I thought it necessary to resign in front of you. No matter where she goes, she's gonna face that power. It's the Board of Education. Think about that. Where are you going where there's not a Board of Education? It's like DOC. Where you going where it's not Department of Corrections? It's not, inmate holding facility. No, everywhere you go is the Department of Corrections. That means it's a system bigger because they share information. You'll notice that they say the same things. It's a shoe in this state and it's a shoe over there. It's universal. They train and they doing everything together. You just don't see it. Because most of the time, if you a criminal, you ain't really going nowhere anyway, and you fucking only arguing about some simple local shit, so you don't see the big picture. But yeah, and that's for any department. I don't care if it's Department of Transportation. Wherever you at, there's another fucking Department of Transportation. And how is that? Because they always connected. They all one system. Just over here. Okay, so, she continues, school board, I quit. I quit your policies. I quit your training. I quit being a cog in a machine that tells me to push highly publicized agendas to our most vulnerable constituents, children. You heard that? It says, she continued, school board, I quit. I quit your policies. I quit your training. I quit being a cog in a machine that tells me to push a highly publicized agenda to our most vulnerable constituents, children. So what is her beef? Right? Is her beef the the agenda of sexuality, or is all of that really, right? Is all of that really coming under the same agenda? Right? Is once again they're blanketing critical race theory, right? And they're blanketing everything under it to be able to put it out there where once again the black plight is going to be so small because these things are taking bigger precedence under the same banner. And since you don't see it, you're not in the schools, you're probably not going over the student curriculum, and you're not saying, wait a minute, well, why are you spending more time focused on this and less time focused on this? If that's the case, why are we arguing about critical race theory, but the transgender agenda is pushed? We already got kids in school, girls getting hurt because they winding up playing against boys in a girl sport. They girls. You calling them transgender, but they boys in a girl sport. You know, so or is the black plight once again being used to push bigger agendas? You gotta ask yourself that. You gotta ask yourself that. Let me see right here. See, because here we go. In Connecticut, teacher resigns over woke curriculum. Right? Now I'm trying to see because hers actually it was or did I just have to really listen? I think I listened to what she said. She's out in Connecticut, right? And her beef with it all is she's basically saying this is a woke agenda. Right? The woke community is is pushing these ideas on, you know, society, right? So you go, okay, well, what is this woke that we talking about? In the black community, we know woke as, some type of, Bible bashing, right? So that's why you see the Christians and all of that, they fighting because remember this is built on America is built on Christian morals and beliefs, right? If I'm correct, right? So, if America is built on that, right? If America is built on these Christian values, the way to attack America is off of those same Christian beliefs and values, correct? So you set up a system that's to attack it, whether through questioning the Bible, through false questioning, meaning that they only asking a silly question because most likely you was given a silly answer yourself, meaning that one day you asked a serious question, you asked a serious, you came across some serious information, you asked a serious question, the person received silly answer once themselves, so they answered you with a silly answer, right? So then here goes somebody asking you now a silly question based on the silly answers you have always been receiving. That might sound confusing, right? Say your grandmother asked a question, right? She goes, well, to her mother or father, she goes, why did um um God, flood the earth, right? So now, whatever your mother, whatever the mother tells her, she got from another answer that was incorrect, right? It was just put there incorrectly and universally passed around. So that way, when it was time for them to initiate the questioning, right, it would be easy to because it wouldn't have made sense to answer. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you saying, oh, it was, because, God was mad because of sin, right? And everybody tells you that that's why he flooded the earth, and you never really read the Bible. You just know, they refer to that when in church or and whatnot. You understand what I'm saying? So now, here it is. Somebody comes along and they tell you, well, why would they say that? It's just like how, you know, the devil or the serpent, should I say, did in the garden. Didn't the serpent just walk up and say, wait, did God really say? You understand what I'm saying? And through that, it's the insinuation for you to challenge that. So that's what's happening. It's probably going, above and beyond. But I'm gonna take this to right here where I'm gonna break down what critical race theory is. CRT is a body of legal scholarship and academic movement of U.S. civil rights scholars and activists who seek to critically examine the intersection of race and U.S. law and to challenge mainstream American liberal approaches to racial justice. CRT examines social, critical, and legal issues primarily as as they relate to race and racism in the United States. Now, I could see white people, right, being cautious of that. Think about it. Everything that you do, right, is put under the gun. Wouldn't you understand what I'm saying, be nervous because the things that people didn't have as I guess this is the way they see it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got the people scattered on what they should be mad about, and now you pointing them to a direction because that's what the school system is for, right? Think about it like this. When you go through American history, they tell you all about the enemies, right? And then even when you play modern warfare, they tell you the same enemies. These are the people we got problems with over there. Keep that in mind. That's what they always let you know. So imagine now that same agenda, that same, propaganda that's being promoted, right? Wouldn't that be the same thing that they're worried about would reverse? Because now you're pointing out all of this, and then all of that other stuff would come up, the Tuskegees and all of these things, and so yeah, it would make white America look like, oh shit. Wait, we telling them all the fuck up shit we did all at one time and without them having to go find that and this person talking over this? Like, no, you came right here to the source and you learning this. Yeah, I can see them having a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I'm saying that is because now, remember what I said is um the gay movement, right, hiding under, the critical race theory, right, is their agenda truly what they see as more important. So I look right here, right, and I go radical feminism, right? Radical feminism is a perspective within feminism that calls for a radical reordering of society in which male supremacy is eliminated in all social and economic contexts while recognizing that women's experience are also affected by other social divisions such as in race, class, and sexual orientation. The ideology and movement emerged in the 1960s. When they said the New World Order was here, what did that just tell you? That's the New World Order right there, right? What it said? It says radical feminism is a perspective within feminism, right, that calls for all radical reordering of society in which male supremacy is eliminated in all social economic contexts. My fault. You know, this whole time I'm thinking y'all seeing what I'm seeing and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me show y'all real quick what I was talking about right here. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm over here smoking and shit, but yeah, radical feminism, right? Radical feminism is a perspective within feminism that calls for radical reordering of society in which male supremacy is eliminated in all social economic contexts while cate- um oh re no recognizing my see this fucking weed, man, while recognizing that women's experiences are also affected by other social divisions such as race, class, and social orientation. Now, which that is saying is we not gonna change the way everybody is. Meaning that I'm willing to bump off my daddy. You keep your man in check. You over here. You say men are no good. Basically, we just either way the agenda of pushing men to the side is the agenda. If you got a daughter, you know what I'm saying. You know you might be lucky, but the movement is push the men to the side, right? Even so, you know, I'm not saying everybody is with it, but once you promote the feminism, right, they're inside there, but they really started it. So now they threw on a coat where they need everybody, all of the women involved. So it's girl power. You know what I'm saying? It's girl power. You know, you got white power now. It's girl power, white girl power. Because it's not about changing, you know, the 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 financials, not for within their community, females. It's really to, you know, just bump off the men. So that's why when you see the new movies, every movie that you see, it has men in these weak, submissive roles. They get the tough guys and all of that. Anybody to play the role. That's what, while y'all worried about the fruity bagooty shit. You understand what I'm saying? There's a whole new system over here happening. So both of those systems are playing a part at the same time. So while you're not seeing one, you're watching the other. So it's like, you know, like Three Card Monte and shit. You gotta watch the hands and shit. Don't get caught up in the conversation. Watch the hands. You know what I'm saying? Watch for the switch, the bait and switch. You know what I'm saying? The minute he tell you about some shit across the street, yeah, that's when I'm looking at you even harder. I don't give a fuck about across the street. I'm right here. My money over here. What I'm looking across the street for. You dig? So, you know, it goes radical feminists view society as fundamentally as patriarchy, in which men dominate and oppress women. Radical feminists seek to abolish the patriarch as one front in a struggle to liberate everyone from an unjust society by challenging existing society norms and institution. This struggle includes opposing the sexual objectification of women, rising public awareness about such issues as rape and violence against women, challenging the concept of gender roles, and challenging what radical feminists see as a rationalized and generalized capitalism that characterizes the United States and many other countries. Whatever the fuck you rambling on about, you keep rambling. Once you start saying that you trying to make a man submissive and not your partner because you feel like you've been oppressed, why don't you team up with men who might have felt oppressed too, and y'all fight the fight together? You saying nah, fuck that, so he's saying nah, fuck that, and the war continues, right? You, I don't know, but this is what's really taking place. When I tell people what the Freemasonic symbol is, it's a symbol of the vagina. When you look at it, you will notice it's a vagina, people. So, everything that you are seeing is this happening now. But there's a bigger picture even behind this, and I'll have to break that down at another time. I'm glad you sat around. We kicked it, had a little fun. You know what I'm saying? Slide over here real quick. Had a little fun. Let me put up my G for the people. You know what I'm saying? Grand Strains. You see us in the building. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And you know we got that gas because that's what that Grand Strain stand for. Grams and strains. Gas. You understand what I'm saying? Grand Strains. Grams and strains. So, I hope you know what I'm saying, you have fun. Oh yeah, and by the way, don't forget to check out, the book, Street Skelzy, Knock 'em Out the Box. You can get it on Amazon right now. Matter of fact, you can read it for free if you have an Amazon subscription. All you gotta do is go to Kindle, look up the book, Street Skelzy, Knock 'em Out the Box by the one and only M.A. Wade. You know what I'm saying? And get a good read. And it's about a father who gets murdered and his two sons who work on opposite sides of the law have to team up to locate who the killer of their father is. It's a murder mystery. It runs you through 2 states and almost every borough. Peace.